It's our ball, ain't it? It's our ball! Hey! It's our ball! It's our ball! Can he shoot? Yes, I can shoot.
Welcome back to another episode of the Ball Don't Lie podcast. We're doing a special trade deadline reaction episode. I'm your host, Jacob Fraser, with my co-host, Cam Connolly. And let's just get into it today. The trade deadline just closed, and there were some interesting moves, some players that were expected to be traded but didn't get moved. Just what are your instant reactions to some of the moves and non-moves today?
Yeah, I mean, the trade deadline is one of the most entertaining days in the NBA season. Sometimes I have more fun just reacting to the trades than watching some of the games. I don't know about you. I feel kind of bad because the players have to up and move their entire lives. But I mean, it's a product and it's exciting for me. And it's honestly, I think it's the best trade deadline out of any of the big four.
Yeah, for sure. We get the most moves. I mean, the NFL did have some big moves this year, but typically that's a lot quieter. But yeah, there's all these superstars getting moved in the NBA every single year, and it's very entertaining. But yeah, I mean, there wasn't a ton that happened today specifically, but just throughout the week, there were some monumental trades. Let's just kick things off with Anthony Davis to the Washington Wizards. Obviously, they acquired Trae Young earlier this season, a few weeks ago now. But, I mean, it kind of makes me – the Wizards getting Anthony Davis and Trae Young kind of makes me think of that meme or whatever where it's like, what's he building in there? Because what are the Washington Wizards building over there?
I don't know. And it's such a random suitor. When you think Anthony Davis, I don't know if a whole lot of people thought Washington Wizards. I don't know if you thought Washington Wizards. I mean, we talked about these rumors 4 times. I never even thought Wizards because it just didn't really make sense. And maybe they're trying one of those hybrid rebuilds. But I don't know if Anthony Davis is the guy to be a part of a hybrid rebuild. We've talked about this before. I wouldn't trade for Anthony Davis right now. You said that you still would, but I personally wouldn't. And in a franchise that has been in such the deep, dark depths of the league, and you get Anthony Davis, you still kept Keyshawn George and Bub Carrington. Shout out Bub Carrington, worst plus minus ever. But I mean, they keep those two around. You still have what's his face? Oh my God, I'm blanking on his name. I still have Keyshawn George.
Oh,
yeah,
Keyshawn
Alex
George,
Sarr,
yeah.
Keyshawn George, all those guys. There could be something there, but I don't know if I like the move for the Wizards. It's just so random.
Yeah, it really is. And what the Mavs get back to, it's Chris Middleton, AJ Johnson, Marvin Bagley, Malachi Branham, and 2 first-round picks and 3 second-rounders. I mean, I guess there were other players involved too, Jaden Hardy, D'Angelo Russell, Dante Exum, but I think that's a bit of an overpay for Anthony Davis being the centerpiece.
Yeah, and then on the Maverick side, you turned Luka Doncic into Who are those guys that you just said? I can't remember.
Chris Middleton, AJ Johnson, Marvin Bagley. You essentially turned Luka Doncic into the 2 first-round picks you got for AD, and then there were picks involved in the Doncic trade, I think, right?
I believe there's 1.
Yeah, so essentially,
how do you get more first-round picks for AD than Luka Doncic, by the way? I know that AD went the other way, but that is insane. I mean, and this is just a colossal mess up by this Mavericks organization. Turn Luka Doncic into essentially 3 first-round picks and Chris Middleton, and not prime Chris Middleton.
No, this is a bad Chris Middleton. He's been featured on our LVP at least twice this year, maybe even 3 times.
A lot of times.
Yeah, I don't understand it from either side. I mean, I guess you recoup some assets on Anthony Davis, who hasn't worked out in Dallas. It's not a bad move looking at it from that point of view, but from the point of view of having traded Luka Doncic a year ago, just over a year ago, for Anthony Davis, it looks terrible. And
yeah, sorry, keep going.
No, I was just going to say, you like you said, turn Luca into 3 first round picks, and now like I don't know where you go from there, and then I don't know what the Wizards are doing. Like I said, like I don't know what they're building over there.
Yeah, like I haven't read too many articles about like outsiders' opinions, and I sometimes my immediate reactions aren't always with the populace, you could say.
Mhm.
But it's like, it's almost like Washington and Dallas were like, yeah, let's just swap half our team. Both teams are kind of struggling. Well, not kind of struggling. Both teams are struggling, and I don't know what they think they can get out of swapping teams. Pretty much,
Yeah,
like it blows my mind. I saw a thing. I haven't fact checked this, but I have no reason not to believe it. Anthony Davis and Kyrie Irving played 21 total minutes together.
I don't know if that can be true.
Regardless, isn't that crazy that it doesn't even sound like it's not insane? If I fell for that date, it's still like I'm eh, it's just I don't know. It's just a mess. These two teams are a mess. They're
Yeah.
absolute messes. And you have Cooper Flag, and I don't know. I don't know if this is how you rebuild properly, but uh,
I mean, the
it's
two
just
first round picks certainly help, and you assume that they're going to have another high draft pick this year. Like I'm looking at Tankathon right now. Just sim the lottery, they jump up 5 spots to number 2 overall, and so maybe they get Cam Boozer or AJ Demanstra in their organization with the number 2 pick, and suddenly you've got two legitimate stars with Cooper Flag and one of those guys. But they are going to have a high draft pick this year as well, right? And then I don't know, did they get the Wizards pick for this year's draft?
that's what I'm looking right now. It just says two future first round picks. I haven't actually seen which first round picks they are, but like it's just I don't know. And I just
Oh,
fact
okay.
checked it. They played 25 minutes together total.
Jeez, that's crazy. I just found the picks. The picks are the Thunder's 2026 first and a Warriors top 20 protected pick in 2030.
I mean, if that turns into a 2031 unprotected with the way that the Warriors are right now, that actually could be a valuable pick in the future.
Yeah,
But the OKC pick, it's just a second round pick. You pretty much just traded for four second round picks.
yeah, pretty much. Like you would assume that's going to be 29th to 30th
Yeah,
overall.
probably. Well, Shea's hurt right now. Maybe that'll fall 28th, but it's not going
Yeah,
to get much higher than that.
yeah, exactly. Let's shift over to Jaren Jackson Jr. traded to the Utah Jazz, and this was another shocking one to me. I First of all, I didn't think Jared Jackson Jr. was going to be dealt. I thought it was going to be John Morant, if anything, out of Memphis. But to go to Utah, I'm surprised by that. But I love this move for the Utah Jazz.
Yeah, well, there I saw someone say Utah is the first team to be in 15th place and make a win now trade, but it's still so random to me. And it did feel like a bit of an overpay in my opinion. I'm not sure about your opinion.
Yeah, I mean, they send LA's 2027 first, and then the most favorable of the Jazz, Cleveland Cavs, and Timberwolves and Suns. This is I'm reading it on ESPN right now. That's a lot of picks involved. Do the Jazz really own all of those picks? I'm not sure,
I
but
I don't
you
know.
also send Walter Clayton, Kyle Anderson, Taylor Hendricks, and Georges Niang back the other way. Yeah, I don't know if I consider that an overpay because there's not like Taylor Hendricks and Walter Clayton are solid young players, but I mean Kyle Anderson, Georges Niang, who cares? And then you give up a couple first round picks, 3 first round picks. I I don't really have an issue with it.
Yeah, that's fair. I just don't think that Trip J is worth three firsts, to be honest. Like, and obviously it's not just him, but he's the main guy on the deal. And it, I mean, there could be something brewing there in Utah, but then on the other hand, and I know that the NBA draft odds are like made to prevent tanking. So if you get out of 15th place, it's not the end of the world, like in
Mhm.
your conference. But why are you trying to ruin, essentially hurt your draft stock this year in one of the most loaded drafts that there's been in a while? That's the part that I'm a little bit confused about also. Because I feel like you could have made this trade in the offseason too.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point, but I mean, you look at their front court, like Walter Kessler, like that's going to be a big lineup. Walter Kessler, Jaron Jackson Jr., and Laurie Markkinen, like that is going to be a tough team to score on. Frankly, like
Yeah.
at
Add
least
in
in
AJ Dabansta, Keontae George. It'll
AJ
be
Dave Ansta will be there for sure. He's already getting
no.
paid by their owner.
Oh yeah, that's true. But I mean, isn't that weird? That should be considered tampering, but that's another conversation. But like, I mean, Keontae George is so nasty. Like, there could be something there with Utah. I don't hate the move. I just think that they overpaid.
Yeah, I don't think I can disagree with that. Like, but I mean, you also look at some of the deals from the past, like that Rudy Gobert trade that sent him to the Minnesota Timberwolves. It was like what 5 or 6 first-round picks.
Yeah, that one is one of the worst, almost overlooked worst trades I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, for sure. But I just when you look at that context, I think trading 3 first plus a couple of mid round mid round drafted younger players in Walter Clayton, Taylor Hendricks. Like I don't have an issue with the trade.
That's fair. I mean, Walter Clayton, I'm hoping that he can turn into something. I'm a fan of his, but it's not like he's a blue chip prospect by any
No,
means.
no, for sure. Let's shift over to James Harden, traded from the LA Clippers to the Cleveland Cavaliers for essentially Darius Garland. I don't know. Was there anything else involved? I don't have the full
Second
trade
round
in
pick.
front of me. Right. Okay. Um, yeah. I mean, I don't like this move for Cleveland at all.
Yeah, and I mean, you add a guy like James Harden. He's an elite scorer and he's an elite player, and how can you be mad at adding a guy like James Harden? But I don't know about the fit. I really don't. Like, it doesn't
With
make.
Donovan Mitchell, no.
It seems to be like a theme of this trade deadline, just a lot of head scratching deals. And I thought that they had like a bit. I thought that what's his face, Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland were like this, and then you hear that he okayed the deal and he told him to go get Harden. So is that him saying he's willing to take a back seat? Because I find that hard to believe.
Yeah, I don't see Harden being the number one, but you're right. Like about the fit, like I don't think it's a good fit. I thought Darius Garland was a great point guard for Cleveland. Like he maybe is a little bit ball dominant, but he's a great playmaker.
Hmm.
And James Harden, obviously, he's got the assist totals over his career that on paper he looks like a great playmaker. But to me, I'd rather the pass first point in Darius Garland paired alongside Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley, rather than a scoring guard like James Harden on my roster.
Yeah, and you can argue that like Cleveland's not having the best years, so they wanted to shake things up. And if you want to argue that, that's fine. But I think that you don't necessarily have to have the best regular season. You have to have the experience and the experience as a group. And I think they kind of just messed that up. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you look at a team like Florida in the NHL. They first year they were the 8 seed. They made it all the way to the finals. The next year I think they were the 1 seed. They when they won it the first time they were a higher seed. But then last year they were like the 7 or 6 seed, and they won the cup, and everyone knew because they had the experience. And it would have been kind of similar, I thought, for Cleveland, where it didn't really matter where they were. Everyone knew they were a legitimate threat, and yeah, they wouldn't have home court advantage potentially, but they were a team you didn't want to see.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, now they have Harden, who's like another scoring guy who is very dangerous and a guy you have to respect. But I kind of see him as a system killer myself. I
Oh,
don't know
that's
how
what I was
you
going
would
to
view him.
say. I was just about to say, like, why would you want to bring in this guy? Because he's everywhere he goes, they don't have much success in the playoffs, and he always ends up demanding a trade, like he did with the Clippers, like he did with the Brooklyn Nets, like he did with the Philadelphia 76ers, the Houston Rockets. Like this guy doesn't work in
Yeah,
playoff environments with winning teams. Like he just doesn't bring that winning culture to teams. And so why would you want to invite that into your locker room when you're right, they have struggled a little bit this year, but they have the recipe for some success moving forward, and they were a team that I looked at as probably going to the conference finals, regardless of where they finished in the regular season standings.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they were 8-2 in their last 10. Like they were hot, and I mean, on the same thing, you could say the same thing for the Clippers. I kind of understand the move a little bit more from the Clippers side, but I feel like you could have
Yeah.
got a little more. Like you could have recouped some of those picks that you gave up in because some GM would have given you them. I find it hard to believe that there's not one GM willing to give up 2 or 3 firsts for Harden.
Well, if AD is going for 2, then yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but like it's just such a head scratcher. And I was watching Starting Five to bring up like the demanding a trade. He said that he wants to end his career in LA. He's an LA guy, and that's where he wants to be. That was my first thought when I heard him demand the trade, and then instantly he was gone. It was like, I just don't get the Clippers, dude. Like you guys were so hot. You were so incredibly hot. Everything was going right. I mean, there could be karma for Kawhi leaving Toronto, and everyone wanted him to stay, but that's a different conversation. I don't know. I say when will GMs learn about AD? When will GMs learn about Harden? And maybe I'm wrong, and they're going to go on a crazy run, and Donovan Mitchell will take a back seat, and they'll win a championship, and then I'll come on here and I'll apologize to everyone. But it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
No, it doesn't. I mean, you mentioned he wanted to finish his career in LA, whatever. He said that about everywhere he's been. So
Yeah.
I don't
Daryl
put any
Morey is
stock
a
in that.
liar, and I will not play for him. Let me say that again.
Telling a bunch of kids. So stupid.
In China that don't speak English.
Let's shift over to the Zubac trade. I mean, it's another, like you mentioned, head scratchers. It's another one. I don't understand it for the Pacers at all. They're in the basement of the league right now with Halliburton out, and you trade Benedict Mathurin, who I mean, he's Canadian, so there is some bias there, but I like Benedict Mathurin as a player, and yeah, I just don't understand it.
Yeah, it was just like, I mean, this is a theme every year with the overpay, but this year especially with just the head scratchers. Like, what are you getting this season out of Zubac? And I understand if you want to make the move next year when he has Halliburton, like because that could be a good move. But right now, you own your first round pick. You're trying to be last, and you gave up a lot. Like, what happens if Halliburton doesn't come back the same and you just gave up 3 first round picks? Was it 3?
Let me find the actual trade details here. Give me a sec.
Like, God forbid. Obviously, I want Halliburton to come back and be the exact same player he was because I think he's great for the league and he's super entertaining. But what happens if he's not? And you just brought in Zubac, and now what? Like, is he I would say he's better than Miles Turner.
Yeah, I think I would. But I think they do different things, right? Like, I think Miles Turner maybe is a better defender, but offensively, definitely better. It was two future firsts, along with Benedict Mathurin, Isaiah Jackson, and a second round pick.
Yeah, and Mathurin, like, I mean, now he can go into a place where he can score, and maybe you can have a Shea arc. Could you imagine? The Clippers do everything wrong, and then somehow stumble upon Shea too. But no, I mean, that obviously I'm exaggerating. I don't think that would happen, but I don't get it. I don't get it. If it was next year, I could kind of get it, but this year I don't get it.
One thing that I want to point out about one of the first round picks that they gave up, it's this year's pick from the Pacers protected 1-4 and 10-30. So if it's in that 5-9 range, it's going to the Clippers.
What? Are you serious? I didn't.
Yeah.
What?
I don't understand that protection at all.
I don't understand why you would even risk this year's pick.
Yeah, to me, like, it's got to be a lottery protected pick this year.
Yeah, like, what? that. I'm almost speechless at just the boneheadedness of that.
Yeah, to me, like, that pick alone, I don't want to give, like, a top 5 pick. If that pick ends up being number 5 overall, they're trading Benedict Mathurin fifth overall pick plus a pick next year and some other pieces for Zubac. I think that's a massive overpay.
It's a insane overpay, and I just did the draft simulator on Tankathon, like you always do.
Yeah.
Did it 3 times. 2 times they kept their pick. 1 time the Clippers got it.
Yeah, I
Like,
just did it 3 times as well, and same result. So 1 out of 3 is essentially the chances that pick ends up in LA.
I just can't understand it. I just
No.
can't. And I don't think Zubac is even close to worth a first round pick, or not a first round pick. Sorry, a lottery pick.
Yeah, I mean,
Especially this year.
I could see maybe like you can argue outside of the top 10, like the 10 to 14 or whatever range for the lottery. I could see that being something I'd be willing to give up for Zubac, but not that plus Matherin plus a unprotected pick the following year plus whatever. Like I think that's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. It's just so. I don't know. I'm a little shocked right now that was. I'm trying to come up with the words, and it's so boneheaded. I feel like if the Canucks, it's like the Canucks trading for, I don't know, Devon Taves or something, and giving up their this year's pick 1 to 4 and
Yeah.
10 to 30 protected. Like, I would probably punch my wall if the Canucks did that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think it's a ridiculous overpay, but that's pretty much it from like the big trades that happened. I mean, there was also Jared McCain to the OKC Thunder, which we can touch on that really quickly. I'm surprised by it that Philly's given up on McCain a little bit here and that he's ending up in OKC. Does OKC really need another guard? But
Yeah, I mean, I think they're probably thinking through the lens of Shea's hurt. We need someone for now.
yeah,
And let me just say, I am now 2 feet on the OKC bandwagon. I was 1 foot on before. I am fully 2 feet on. I love Jared McCain. He's one of my favorite players. So I'm fully repping OKC. Unless it's the Raptors in the finals, I will be going with OKC.
well, we'll be doing a lot of content during the finals, so you'll probably be able to talk about being a bandwagon fan for them.
Yeah, I might go to the casino tonight, throw $100 on red. If it hits, then I'll buy a OKC Jared McCain jersey.
But let's talk about just a couple of the players that didn't get dealt. Ja Morant and Giannis Antetokounmpo. There were a lot of rumors leading up to the deadline that both of them were, I guess, likely might be the best word for it, that they were likely going to be moved, and neither of them get dealt by either Memphis or Milwaukee. Are you surprised at all that we didn't at least see one of those two moved?
I'm very surprised they didn't move on from Ja. Like, it's like the writing was on the wall. They dished Trip J. Now it's time for Ja to go, and they didn't. And I don't understand why. It feels like he wanted to go. They kind of had like it was like felt like it was time, and he is still there. So
Yeah.
we'll see what happens. I mean, it's not like you can't make that trade in the offseason. I'm not sure when his contract expires, but I think that he almost 100% will get traded in the offseason because they almost have to.
Yeah, I expect that to be done in the off season. He's got 2 years left after this one, at a 42 and $44 million cap hit, for the following 2 years. So I expect that he'll get dealt in the off season. I also expect the same for Giannis. Just I think the writing's on the wall, and maybe Milwaukee felt that they couldn't get the right offer to move him right now. It's a little bit harder to make moves in season, obviously, with all the cap restraints and everything. So the offseason, I'm sure they'll get a much bigger haul, and that was probably the thinking there. And it's probably the same with Ja Morant. Like, I think Shams tweeted something about just there was interest, but no serious offers to Memphis for Ja. So
One note's funny actually. You know how we had that one clip that it didn't really go viral, but it had like a decent amount of views. You talked about John Morant to the Raptors. You
Mhm.
know who I saw complaining that didn't get John Morant? Raptors fans. You guys
Really?
hated on me for saying that I thought John Morant should go to the Raptors, and all of a sudden you did a 180. What's this about? I was out here, my name. You guys are saying podcast equipment should become more expensive. All this stuff, all because I said John Morant should go to the Raptors, and now you guys are saying John Morant should go to the Raptors. So which one is it?
I
Which
mean,
one?
hey, they got Chris Paul, so
Yeah. By the way, I don't think he's going to, but it would be awesome
no,
to see him report. I
he.
would
I
love
don't think he will.
I would love to see that, and I think he could be actually a good veteran presence in that room.
Yeah,
But
it would be fun to see Chris Paul for the Raptors just for a little bit here, but yeah, I doubt he actually ends up
for some
reporting.
reason, those Americans think that we're in like Europe and we live in a foreign land. Yeah, we live in the exact same society that you guys live in. All right, there's
I wouldn't
maybe
go
we don't
that
have
far.
as yeah. Well, okay, for the most part. Outside of your political antics, we didn't have a whole lot of guys on that island like you guys did. But we don't have as many TV channels and we don't have as many fast food restaurants. We have a different dollar, and everything else about life is pretty much the exact same. So all you Americans scared to come over here, I'm wearing an American team hat right now. This is a jacket that was probably made in America that you could buy in America. Apple lights that work. We don't live in an igloo. Come on down, Chris Paul. Let's go on a run here. Let's make something happen. Let's make your last year special.
I yeah, like I said, it would be a lot of fun to see him lace him up with the Raptors, but unfortunately, I don't think that'll come to fruition. But before we wrap up, is there anything you wanted to get to?
Yes.
Any trades? Yeah.
Not a trade. I think that we should have Shams be executed for his manipulation of the betting market. Now, there is no way in God's green earth that the Giannis situation deserved as many tweets as it did if nothing really like came to fruition. He is obvious. He's an employee of a betting, like a sports book. How is he allowed to be an NBA insider? And this is a conversation that's happening online. I don't think it should be allowed. This is manipulation of the books. If you're going to punish these college players because the mafia's after them, like, I mean, you hear stories. Mafia is like, you have to point shave or whatever. And obviously they should be punished. Point shaving is illegal. This is essentially point shaving on like a paper level. He's he's manipulating markets to bring money in, bring betting odds in. He'll tweet it and then he'll tweet like an ad about like betting. Oh, you can bet on it here. How is that allowed? How is he allowed to be an NBA insider? He's shooting like 40% from the field this year. He's on Team Giannis at the All-Star game. I saw the Milwaukee Bucks made a tweet about this. How is this allowed? I don't understand. I don't think he should be allowed to be on the betting market. We don't have to get into it too much, but I just need to get that off my chest.
Yeah, I don't have a ton to comment on that because I don't really pay attention to his Twitter a ton, like only for like breaking news and stuff. But
I didn't bet on it, by the way. I'm not bitter because I lost money. I'm bitter because it's ridiculous and he sways the attention of NBA fans just to manipulate the market.
yeah, I think that's fair. I've seen that discourse online in the past too. Like I think it was a big thing last year as well.
Yeah, you'll
Um,
never be Woj. This is why Woj is our goat. Then these new school kids think they can take over. Huh, no. Kay Adams is learning how to do anaconda chokes on live TV, and you're tweeting false narratives about the trade deadline, buddy. I know who you are.
was there anything else you wanted to get to, or should we wrap up
No,
there?
I'm good. I'm good. I can get the rest off my chest on Sunday
Yeah, we'll be
before the Super
back.
Bowl.
Yeah, we'll be back on Super Bowl Sunday with another episode. And yeah, we'll just go through our regular weekly show then. But it was fun to do a little instant reaction for the trade deadline this year, and we will definitely have some more content coming out. Something I hinted at about the finals. We've got some fun plans for the NBA finals this year. So yeah, we'll be back on Sunday. Be sure to check us out on our YouTube channel, on our social media platforms that are linked below. And Yeah, thank you for listening to this special edition episode of Ball Don't Lie.